Milwaukee biker fans, it's Rob from Milwaukee Bikers. Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a video for you about my involvement with the custom vehicle operations product at the Harley-Davidson Motor Company. So yes, I used to work for Harley-Davidson Motor Company, and one of the first things I ever did was work on CVO. So we're going to take you through a little bit of a timeline on CVO, what I did with the product, a little bit of history on the product itself, and even take you through the reason why it's cheaper to buy a CVO than it is to buy a regular road glide or street glide. Stay tuned. All right, well, let's start by understanding what the essence of CVO is, custom vehicle operations. What sets these bikes apart? You know, each CVO model is handcrafted with meticulous attention to detail, featuring exclusive paint schemes, premium finishes, and cutting-edge technology. These bikes are the epitome of luxury and exclusivity, designed for riders who demand nothing but the best. And over the years, there's been numerous iconic CVO models, and they've captured the imagination of riders worldwide. From a powerful and sleek CVO Street Glide, which I ride and love, to the classic yet modern CVO Road King, each bike offers a unique blend of performance, comfort, and customization options tailored to individual preferences. All right, so let's take a look at the history of CVOs here. I got this really cool graphic from chopperexchange.com, and they went into a timeline here of all of the CVOs produced all the way up until 2019. So very, very cool. As you well know, or as maybe you don't know, CVO hasn't been around for forever, and the very first models came out in 1999. There was an FXR2 and FXR3, and these things were really cool. Premium dynas, cool paint, big wheels, extra chrome. It's kind of round one. And in the 90s, the customization scene was heavily focused on dynas and Softails. And so if you were long and low, no fairing, no touring stuff, that was not a thing back in the 90s. You know, some people did it, but it was rare. Everyone wanted to be on a Softail or a dyna, and that's where they started, was on those two dynas. And then we'll be talking about this bike again, but this 2000 model Screaming Eagle Road Glide. Oh, look at that, they left the C out of there. The Screaming Eagle Road Glide was the first touring motorcycle offered from CVO, and that one is the one, we'll get some B-roll up here, but that paint job on that bike inspired the 25th anniversary CVO Legendary Orange that I ride today. And love that bike. That bike was so cool. When it came out, all of our brains just went because it was the coolest road glide we'd ever seen. That was an amazing bike. And then you go down the list here. What I find interesting is in the early years, you'll see that there was one cruiser and one touring bike basically every year. And then you come down a little bit further in 2006. That was an interesting year. They had 4 that year. So they had a Fat Boy, a V-Rod, something called a V-Rod Destroyer, which I'll show you a picture of that. That was a track ready, out of the box, sub 8 second, I think is what it would run, quarter mile, which was super cool. And then they had the bagger down here, the ultra classic Electra Glide. So what I think is fascinating is if you look over time here, you have half cruiser, half touring for many, many years. And then something changed. If you look down here now, 2013, you've got the CVO Breakout, which is one of the iconic motorcycles for CVO. But now you've got Road King, Road Glide, Bagger. Then you got a Softail Deluxe, Street Glide, Road Glide, and a Limited, another bagger. And so all of a sudden you see one cruiser offering and 3 touring offerings. This kind of marks a shift in the market, where what you see now is more people customizing baggers during this time period than they were customizing cruisers, which is just fascinating. And now you fast forward and we go down to 2019 here on this particular list, where in 2019 there wasn't even a cruiser on here, or in 2018. So 2017 was the last year of the breakout, and then you went straight touring for 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So it hadn't had a cruiser CVO in years. And that marks kind of the end of the cruiser customization scene, at least from custom vehicle operations. And what you see out there now is people are now customizing baggers for performance. And that's what you see in the 2024 lineup. The CVO ST motorcycles, the CVO ST Road Glides, are totally performance inspired based on the King of the Baggers racing team. And that's a really cool bike, and people love that thing. So that's a little brief history here of CVO. CVOs, through innovation and customization, they show Harley-Davidson's commitment to that innovation. These bikes often debut new technologies and engineering advancements, such as advanced audio systems, upgraded suspension, high-performance engines. Riders can also personalize their CVO bikes through accessories and customization options, which I covered that in a couple of videos ago, where it's like, I got a CVO, what else am I doing with it? But every bike is a reflection of its owner's unique style, and there's things that I needed on my bike that I had to do because I'm a big dude. I'm 6'5", so I needed extra stuff. So go check out that video if you want to. But I want to just circle back here on this idea of advanced audio systems, upgraded suspension, and high performance engines. All of those things are evident on my 2024 CVO StreetGlide. So the advanced audio systems, it's got the best Rockford Fosgate 500 watt 4-speaker system, and it's mind-blowing. I had the 400 watt Rockford Fosgate system on my previous StreetGlide, the one that I traded in for this bike, and that was mind-blowing. And this is even better. And so you think about that from a technology perspective, they've packed it into an even smaller amp, really efficient amp that's now under the fairing instead of in the saddlebag. It's an engineering marvel, the innovation that they put into these bikes. And then talk about upgraded suspension. So last year on my StreetGlide, I had a StreetGlide Special, I had a 2-inch rear suspension. Now it comes with a 3-inch, and the ride is just that much better. Same thing on the front end. So I had the old cams on the front end on my old StreetGlide, but now the StreetGlide CVO and Road Glide both come with inverted front ends. So the suspension on the front end, the unsprung weight is really low, keeps that tire in contact with the road, and it gives you so much confidence going around turns. It feels like the grip has just improved, orders of magnitude, because that unsprung weight is so low on the front end. And that's something that I almost said we. It's not we anymore. Something that Harley-Davidson's focused on for years and years and years. And that, from a performance perspective, that front end's down. And then the last is high performance engines. And holy cow, man, I've got a 121 cubic inch motor on my bike. That converts, if you do the math, to a 2-liter motor. You imagine having a 1-liter cylinder in the front and a 1-liter cylinder in the back. That's what I have on my bike. And it's variable valve timed on a liquid cooled that looks like an air cooled 2-liter Harley-Davidson motor. God, the innovation just doesn't stop, man. This is an incredible motorcycle, and you just take it for granted. Okay, here we go. You guys ready for this? Yeah, CVOs are a value proposition. What? Yeah, this is the good deal. This is the good deal. So let's do a little bit of CVO math here, shall we? Okay, so here is the example that I pulled together. A base model StreetGlide is $25,999. That's in billiard gray. Okay, so that's trying to go as cheap as possible. You probably want a different color, but in this example, what I'm assuming is you're going to take a base model StreetGlide and you're going to paint it to look like a CVO. You're going to go out and get a fancy polyurethane paint on there. And then what we're comparing it to is my CVO StreetGlide, which was $50,499 in legendary orange. Okay, this is MSRP for just options from the factory, which aren't much. And actually the CVO is just the paint upgrade from the base MSRP, okay? So here's our customization budget. It's the cost of the CVO minus the cost of the base model. So we got $24,500. You might be thinking to yourself, $24,500, I can do anything in the world with that, right? Well, let's see what you can do. Okay, so things you have to do to close the gap here. You got to take the motor, which is a 117 up to a 121, and add variable valve timing. Okay, that's what you have to do. Well, in this example, we're not going to do that. Let's just do a stage 2 kit. Stage 2 kit is $2,600. The kit itself is $679 plus a tuner plus installation. And so that's actually pretty cheap for motor work. I'm guessing that this number would be above $3,000 if you actually did it. Wheels. I found fugitive front and rear wheels for $1,000 each. And so that's what I put on there, $2,500 with installation. Okay. And right now, if you're a dealer out there, you're looking at my installation labor hours, and you're probably thinking, Rob, you're nuts if you think you can get it done that quick. And what I'm just trying to do is show a conservative version of this, okay? Now, let's talk paint. Paint, $13,800. Okay, well, why so much? Well, this is really where the money starts stacking up. There's not really paint sets out there on HD.com. So these are kind of old numbers, but what I said was it'd be about $12,000 for StreetGlide paint, and that's super conservative. So inner and outer fairing, the tank, the fenders front and back, the side covers, the saddlebags and lids, plus 12 hours of installation at $150 per hour. Okay, that gets you to that $1,380. And then finally, and these numbers are a little bit more accurate, is the stereo, about $4,200 to take it from the base version to the CVO version, and you get that 500 watt amp for $600, speakers for $429 for front and back, install kit, and then you got to buy saddlebag lids, and I just put the color match version on there, and then $1,800 for installation at 12 hours, which is, that's probably pretty cheap. So so far we're up to $23,088 just for that, what we just covered. And I don't think you're going to get the engine work or the paint work for anything close to these prices. But we haven't even talked accessories yet. So there's grips and floorboards. So let's talk about that. There's a black and orange special accessory package that you can get for $2,800. So this kit includes the Screaming Eagle Pro Street tuner, the wedge air cleaner, and the low profile solo touring seat, which is all stuff that kind of gets you a little closer to CVO but not quite CVO. And it comes with the adversary collection, which is what's on my CVO, and that's grips, footboards, foot pegs, brake pedal pad, shifter peg, and derby cover. And I put 10 hours of labor on that to install all that stuff. And I know what you're thinking, Rob, hey, you had a tuner up above when you did the motor work. That's $449. But guess what you're missing with all this stuff here? I haven't even mentioned backlit controls, which comes on a CVO, heated grips, that comes on CVO, navigation, which is $350, accent painted inner rocker box, so mine's orange. The one on this black would be black. Custom tank console, rear shifter arm. You only get the front shifter arm on the regular road glides. Remote locking saddlebags. That's pretty nice, I gotta be honest with you. The HomeLink garage door opener. So you flash the high beams on the bike on a CVO and it opens your garage door. Super awesome. CVO bike cover. So yeah, I got a bike cover sitting out in the garage I might not ever use because I never cover my bike. But you get one of those when you buy a CVO. And then saddlebag liners. So you get a set of these bad boys that are removable, got handles on them. They're pretty convenient when you're going to the hotel. So I'm just going to include the accessory kit and call it a day. So when you include that last $2,800 accessory kit, your customization price is up to $27,475. So $27,500. So that's like $3,000 more than the cost of a CVO. And you still have a pile of stuff that you don't have on your StreetGlide versus a CVO version. So this is the reason why I say CVO is a value proposition. Now, you may not want everything that's on a CVO, and I get that. You guys may want to do your thing over time, and I get that too. You also might not have 50 grand in your bank account or want to have a big payment. I understand all that. I get it. But if you do have 50 grand, or you can afford the payment, and you do want all that stuff, I promise you, buying a CVO is way cheaper than buying a base model bike and trying to build it up to a CVO. And I'm just saying that because I've done it before. I did it over a long period of time, and I didn't have a CVO, but I had close, and it was expensive. So, CVO is cheaper. I know you're not going to believe me. Put it in the comments. Tell me how I'm missing it. All right, last one. Why is my 25-year CVO special to me? Well, my first job at the motor company in 1998 was to improve the cam manufacturing operation for the Screaming Eagle cams. Now, the FXD2 and the FXR2 and FXR3 had the old Evolution motors, but in 2000, that new Road Glide that I showed you, the Road Glide CVO, had a twin cam motor, and it had high performance heads and cams from the place that I worked. So the manufacturing cell that I helped build made those cams. And literally, it was my very first project at Harley-Davidson. So day one, I was working on CVO cams. So fast forward to 2011, I started working in parts and accessories, and at that time, CVO was a part of that group. I helped them with some product development. There were folks on my team that were experts in product development methodology, and they improved quality and time to market through the product development process there for CVO. And it was at this time that the CVO breakout and this beautiful CVO Road Glide with Ghost Flame paint was introduced, and I was just smitten, man. Those were really cool motorcycles, and it was a fun time to be working with the motor company. Now, fast forward to 2019, I had a tricked out StreetGlide special with this factory custom paint, and I put all the CVO bells and whistles on it. So I had stereo, seat. The seat was actually from a 2013 CVO bike. Grips, floorboards, you name it, I put it on it. Then this year, I was finally able to pull the plug and get it, pull the plug. That sounds bad. I was finally able to pull off getting a CVO for myself. I had just celebrated 25 years of service, and the motor company was also celebrating 25 years of CVO. What a privilege to have worked on an iconic product like CVO, and then to get to own one myself. Holy cow, man, it's so awesome. And the bike even shows off its 25 years with some nice tattoos in the paint scheme this year. And just like me, I've got a little bit of a Harley-Davidson tattoo right now to show off my 25 years. And I love it. So that's why this bike is so special for me. It feels like something that I've worked on my entire career at the Harley-Davidson Motor Company. And now that the career is done and I'm moving on to the next thing, it's really nice to have something that reminds me of that 25 years. And it's just a really special motorcycle that I might not be able to ever let go of, which is what I say with every motorcycle. But this time I really made it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that review of CVO history. Please put in the comments any questions that you have for me, and I'll answer them the best I can. I had a great time working there at Harley-Davidson. working on this product. And if you're a CVO owner, give me a shout out in there, man. You guys are awesome. I've always loved CVO owners because you guys get it. And maybe you like saving money. Like my second point. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much for watching today. Until next time,